Welcome to Up Close and Personal, heard exclusively on malcolmpresents.com, a streaming platform heard around the world and beyond. As I always say, I always think maybe we're heard in outer space. Some of the spaceships might be picking us up. Anyway, today my special guest is Bonnie Janofsky. And you may not know the name, but you might know the music. Bonnie has music in her head, which I'm very jealous of. Every time I interview musicians and they say they hear the music before they write it down. Is that with you? Do you hear it? Does it play a tune in your head?
Overall, it kind of depends what I'm working on because sometimes I'm working on a film, sometimes I'm working on a musical. If it's a musical, I'll usually receive lyrics first and have read a script first. But a lot of times, when I get just the first line, then that just sprouts so many other things. I know one time I was writing a song for someone named Olivia, and I just heard this Olivia, and then that song, things like that. Of course, depending if I'm writing for film or against lyrics, so some of it has to do with that. But in fact, lately I've been trying. Yes, I mean I do hear ideas, and then or maybe I'll play and develop more. And lately I've even tried to be more uh, experimental, trying like different things, or just saying, what would happen if I just, without thinking at all,
Mm.
played something, and that leads to interesting things
Mhm.
too. So
Well, you've done all the media from what I read. You've done film, you've done for TV, you've done
mhm.
for symphony orchestras.
Yeah.
You've
Mhm.
done that. That always amazes me when I see
Oh,
symphonies where you have to go every instrument coming in and coming out, and I'm going, oh my God.
yeah, it's wonderful. It's way back when I had gone back to school and did the USC firm scoring program, we did a number of about a dozen sessions, but one we did with an 80-piece orchestra, and then other times I've conducted orchestras too, but and what I wrote, and just hearing what you wrote. Oh, in fact, I always remember when I started to compose. I was driving home from the session and I heard a melody in my mind. And this was early on in my composition. And I suddenly realized I was humming my own melody. That just really struck me. I just said, oh my gosh, this is what I just wrote. It was just recorded. And that happened to be an orchestra piece. And yeah, that piece won an award, a BMI award. Yeah, yeah, on that one. Yep.
Yeah, as I say, I always get jealous because I can't carry a tune.
Oh,
And someone plays on the piano, you hear a note and they'll say, okay, you listen to that now. Is it higher or lower? And then I can't
oh,
hear it.
oh. And some people say that everybody within has a musical ability.
Well,
Possible, but I don't.
you just met someone that doesn't.
Okay.
And I know they say I know people who in the profession and they say you have a great voice. You want to
Oh, voiceover.
use it. I can't modulate my tones.
Huh. Interesting.
My tone comes out the same
Oh. Hmm.
and I try to change it and it comes out the same.
Hmm.
So don't ask me. Anyway, when did you first find out that you had an ear for music? Do you
Well, I,
remember when you had
well,
the
I know.
epiphany?
I remember it was interesting that when I was 7 and 8 years old, I took dance lessons. I mean, parents put me in dance lessons. My mom loved dance. That was not my thing.
Mm.
And mostly ballet lessons. I remember there was one tap dance class that I did really enjoy. And I remember that we tapped to When the Saints Go Marching In, and then
Oh,
later I played, and I played that with many Dixieland bands on mostly on drums. And uh, but when I was 9 and my brother was 6, I heard my dad say to my mom, "Let's give Mark piano lessons. Bonnie is taking dance." I said, "I want piano lessons." It's kind of funny. Just a few days before that, was at a neighbor's house. That neighbor's house, I was only at one time. I saw the piano and it just intrigued me. And I said, there must be a pattern. I mean, I knew nothing about piano at the time, but but that really intrigued me. And the minute I started taking lessons, my best friend at the time always says, when you started, and we started about the same time, she said, no, I knew you were the one with
Mm.
with the talent. But I think it did take me a while to realize the abilities that I had, and in ways.
Funny, you knew that you just saw the piano and you knew
Only
there had
saw
to
I
be
played
a,
a few notes, but there was something, yeah, that somehow really caught my attention. Now, I'm sure, once my brother started playing and all, and my parents, just before we started playing, taking lessons, they bought a piano. I always remember there was a store
and
on
not
Beverly.
that piano behind you.
Yes, actually,
Oh,
that
that was the
one.
one.
Yes, that's the one they bought.
So you've had that since you're 9 years old, that piano.
Yeah. But
I
I
hope you
also,
kept it in tune.
oh yeah, yeah,
Now,
and yep.
now, was there a lot of music in your family? Because I understand from your biography, from your bio notes, that your dad was what, an alto sax player.
My father played alto sax, and he started out. My parents both grew up in New Jersey. Grandparents came from Europe, all that, but my parents met in California. And but my father, in his early life, he started playing saxophone at about 11, and until he was 32, that's what he did. He was a musician, and he played alto sax. He also played flute, clarinet, oboe. And he started out playing in the local bands in New York and New Jersey, but then he actually Mel Janofsky, and he actually played with Benny Goodman, Darcy Brothers, Artie Shaw,
Wow.
Stevie Fugard. Who am I forgetting? Tony
Well, I had
Pastor.
the Dorsey
Oh,
brothers,
let's see, Dorsey Brothers, Artie Shaw, Benny Goodman,
Marty
Xavier.
Shaw,
Yeah,
Xavier Cugat.
yeah. He said he traveled to, I think he said he traveled to Argentina with them. And he said at that time, he told me about his experiences. And he said at that time they would do 91 nighters. And of course, a lot of it was by bus. And then he also said, so he told me different experiences, and like working with Benny would have the stair, and all the people that he worked with and
Yeah.
integrated bands way before it was more popular. And yeah. But then when my parents met, they were already in their 30s. And so before meeting my mom, my dad had thought big bands are going out of style, and he was getting tired of the road, and he wanted to have a family. And then shortly after, he met my mom. But he always said he didn't want to play because he wasn't in top shape. He hadn't practiced. So I have his clarinet and alto sax. And he,
Yeah, I know that people who play the horn have to keep their lip in
oh my
shape.
gosh, absolutely. It's not like
It's
piano.
like they say they lose their lip.
Yeah, and their embouchure, or their embouchure, lip or embouchure, and yeah, especially brass players, woodwind, straight. It's easier to go for the piano keys. Yeah,
Yeah, and you also you play the drums.
I do. So I started on piano at age 9, and then in school I started playing in the orchestra, and then actually also in elementary school they had a lot of pianists. So at first I didn't know what a choir was, but I checked it out. Anyway, I was in that. And then my last semester in elementary school, they said, we need somebody to play bass drum. Anyway, I was in the percussion section. But through junior and senior high, I played piano or a little bit of percussion, and more into high school, I got into percussion. But when I started, and then we had the 1971 earthquake, and a local orchestra that was rehearsing nearby started to rehearse at Fairfax High School. So I started playing in that and things. So that was the first outside school group. I was
Yeah.
still a high school student.
So
But
did you ever figure that you'd become a professional musician? When did that
you
hit
know,
you?
by the time that really, really struck, I mean, really solidified, maybe is a good word, at the end of my second year of college, as I had in I'll just say my first semester of junior high, I guess they call them middle schools now, I learned so much in one semester. That instructor went off to teach college, and later I think became head of the colleges or something. Anyway, in the next 2.5 years, I learned nothing.
Mhm.
High school. But when I started college, I debated. I thought, oh, I'm just going to go local for a while. And we lived in the Fairfax area, right between West LA College and LACC. I thought, I'll check out West LA. The amazing instructor. I always remember him, Arthur Danner, and he taught the music theory. I mean, this just opened up a whole new world to me. And because first I was playing classical piano, but a little bit in junior high. The instructor that one semester had a jazz combo, and I played piano. I remember we played an assembly. I don't remember all the songs. I know we played. We could have you could have danced all night. And anyway, I looked at the drummer. I was intrigued then. I had no clue I would become a drummer.
Hmm.
But in the jazz band, when I signed up for jazz band in college, when the drummers weren't there, I'd sit in. I just took to that. I was just so natural on that. So at first, I didn't know how to play rock or something, but big band. My first playing, my first writing was all big band. At the end of my second year, I mean, I always was fascinated by science, and math, science, and music completely go together. I know so many.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
math and science and
very
music
much.
walk
Mhm.
hand in hand.
Very much so. And uh, I was taking chemistry and things like, but I didn't want to study. Anyway, the music just completely won out, especially when I saw one night I'm playing in an orchestra, another night a Dixieland band, I mean, the variety. And then I started to play drums more. And yeah, and then later on, I started to do composing. I came by later, but I started to do, some composing, mostly for big band. I later had my own big band. That's a whole story.
Yeah, yeah, I have it. You had I don't know, it was a big band, but you created a woman's band,
Yes, when I
Maiden Voyage.
made Voyage.
That's a
So
great name.
yeah, I didn't come up with the name, but I in 1979. Well, I was starting to think about. Um, I loved big band. I'm starting my own big band, and then I heard Lutabak and Toshiko Akiyoshi big band play, and
Hmm.
that inspired me. And anyway, I started to think about a band, and then some people said, "Oh, should do an all-women band." I wasn't sure. I didn't really want a novelty. Then I met a woman named Roz Crone, and she was about 50, at least 15 years older than me. At the time I was 25, she was like 40. But anyway, um, she really wanted to start an all-women band. She had played with the Sweethearts of Rhythm. She had to say she was a black musician because that was a black, but that was an amazing band, the Sweethearts of Rhythm in the 1940s and all. And I met some of the players that played with some of the big bands. I know Ray Hutton, and as a coincidence, my father's brother, one of his brothers, was the lighting director, lighting person on the I know Ray Hutton show. I found
Yeah.
out years later that was a coincidence, but
But did she have a TV show or?
yeah, she had a TV show on
Because
Channel 5.
I remember that name, but I can't quite place her
Yes,
music.
I didn't see the show, but then as a coincidence, when I became very active in the musicians union, oh, I could almost remember his name. I'm real good at remembering numbers and music, not names. But oh, I can't remember his name, but he was involved with the show. He
Mhm.
remembered my uncle. But anyway, small world in that. But I knew a number of the musicians I met a number of the musicians who played in that band. So at first I wasn't sure. I didn't really want a novelty, but we started a band together. So it was Bonnie Janofsky, Roz Crone
Was it
band.
how many pieces in the
18,
band?
let's see, 18 or do we have 17? Yeah.
Seven, oh, they had.
Four trumpets, four trombones, five saxes that doubled, and then we had piano, guitar, bass, drums. Oh, no, actually, that's right. We had a percussionist also, come to think of it. So it was 18. Uh, yep.
That's so you quite a combination. All women.
And that was all women. And then let's see. Then I led the band on my own for a while. I was pretty young. I didn't have a lot of experience at the time. I was 25. And then I brought on Ann Patterson. And then just after she came on, that became Maiden Voyage. And I went another direction at that point. But Maiden Voyage was on The Tonight Show on April 9th, 1980,
Ah,
with Johnny Carson.
with Johnny Carson,
Mhm.
and you were on there.
Yes.
Oh wow, that must have been a real thrill.
It was true. Yeah. She wound up talking to Johnny, but she kept saying, but Bonnie started our band, our drummer. But yeah, oh my gosh, it's so we were on there, and we were on the Kansas City Women's Jazz Festival, 1980, kind of dating myself, but yeah. And then later on, in later years, when I would do things big band, most of the time I do it co-ed. I didn't really want to just have all women, but I keep saying I'm going to do a big band again. I do. I love playing big band. I love writing big band. Yeah,
You still play a lot?
I don't know, I write more than I
All
play,
right.
but I do arrangements for people. I compose. I have two films to do this year. And right now I'm helping someone. I write musical theater as well, but
You know,
yeah, I was in
what don't you do?
I don't know. Somebody said I'm
Is
also
there is there any form of music you haven't got involved with?
I haven't done a lot of hip hop, rap, things like that.
Have you ever
I
taken
like
him to the opera?
um I haven't composed an opera, but sometimes I've either played in an opera orchestra or well, trying to think if I ever arranged for an opera. Definitely copied parts for opera. I mean, I've been involved with
Oh.
some
I,
opera,
I'm,
but
I'm trying to think of the name of the series I was on a number of years ago, 10, 15 years
oh,
ago, about it was like the New York Symphony type of thing. And
with Leonard Bernstein.
no, no, it's something about with
Okay.
Beethoven. I think it was a
Yeah, I
Spanish, I
can't
think
think
it
of the
was
name
a
of it.
Latino conductor, very young.
Um, yeah, I
Something
don't
with
remember.
Beethoven. I'll think about it and let you know. By the way, just to let you in on this, Bonnie and I are neighbors in the Horace Heights Estates.
Yep. Yes. Hi, Horace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Horace well, Horace and his dad well, Horace Senior
Oh,
was a big band, led a
hmm
big band for many, many years. And
hmm
Horace Jr. took over. I don't know if he took over, but
Yeah, he
Horace
had.
Jr. was also a big band. You ever play with him?
I think only once I might have subbed at a rehearsal. I know that he led the Raiders band for 13 years as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, so he's done quite a bit. And yeah, so it's really in our where we live here, a lot of very creative people.
Yeah,
It's
well, at one
really,
time, this estate basically was based on creative people. I understand your
yeah,
dad lived here. Your family, your folks
yeah,
lived here with you.
yeah. A friend of mine, Michael Sherman, moved in, and then a year later, my uncle, and then the next year,
Mhm.
my parents decided to sell their house and move in. And yeah, because my dad, he loved being around other entertainers, even though he'd been
Yeah,
out of the
at one
business for a
time,
long time.
yeah,
Yep.
when Senior got a movie done about his band,
Yeah.
and all his the band came out here to
Yeah.
Hollywood, and he wanted to keep them all together, so he
Yeah.
bought this estate, and this is where they all lived.
Yes.
And then when it expanded into an apartment building, basically the people who he was rented to were in the industry.
Yes.
So that must have been fun.
Yes. Yes. I knew, I've only known a few people before. I mean, I first learned of the States way back in
Yeah.
1993. And first time I visited my friend Michael, I never dreamed I'd live here, but yeah, oh, it's great.
I'll
Yeah,
take it.
it's a
And
very,
and, and
very special
I
to
know
me.
playing drums, which I never realized until, well, number one, my cousin, Alan Schwartzberg, he
Oh,
was Alan is a drummer now. He's he's retired, but he was in the heyday of rock and roll.
wow.
So you go to, he still lives in Brooklyn. You go to his house, you see all the gold records. And I
Mhm.
forget who he played with, but he played with everyone during
Wow.
that period
Everybody.
as a studio musician.
Wow.
And then over here, which one of our neighbors, Bob Lanning,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
played
yeah.
with Elvis.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. And his
And
mom
then
was Roberta Sherwood.
oh yeah, that's his
Yeah,
mom.
the singer, Roberta Sherwood.
But I
Yeah.
know years ago, I had my son who is going to be actually 30 in October. When he
Mhm.
was about 12, 13 years old, wanted to play drums.
Oh, oh, yeah.
So we gave him drum lessons.
Oh, fantastic.
Right. So he did okay, but he hated practicing.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
with the drums, which I didn't realize is so physical
Oh,
with
yeah.
your hands.
Oh, very much. And feet, both.
Yeah. You have to practice. It's sort of like
Oh, yeah. Independence and all.
yeah,
Oh,
it's muscle memory.
yeah.
And
Hmm.
he didn't like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
There's only drummers and, well, organists, quite for limb in independence
yeah,
for drums and for, I know some amazing.
but I never realized it was so
Yeah.
physical.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I say you. I'd love for you to form your own band again.
Yeah. I'd like to do that. I do. I keep saying I will, but now I'll say
And
I
in
want to
fact,
do that.
I had
Yeah.
talked. You should talk to Horace. I talked to him. We have a room over here called the Aloha Room.
Oh, oh, yeah. Oh,
I wanted to see if we could one night a week
oh,
set
yeah.
up a band. Could
Oh, that'd be
be.
great.
I
That'd
know.
be, I'm up for that.
Yeah, I again, maybe we'll work with you. Would you be able to do that once a week?
Sure.
You have the time? And
Yep.
okay, so I'll have to speak
Oh,
to
yeah.
Iris.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's now. What are you working on now?
Well, right now I have two films. One that was supposed to be last year, and they've been just going slow on post-production. But the other already I'm starting to work on. There's a filmmaker that when I went back to school, went to the USC film scoring program. I met him when he was a college senior, and I have scored every one of his films. His films are so fun. Well, all different kinds of films are fun, but he does film musicals, and he is an amazing tap dancer and choreographer. So he has elaborate dances and writes songs. For his films, I'll transcribe his melody and the lyrics and everything else. I put the harmony and or orchestrate and make them into actual songs rather than just a melody with lyrics.
Huh?
So for him, and then and of course musicals. I so right now I'm helping husband and wife. They write children's musicals, but I've worked with them many times. So right now I'm mostly at the moment transcribing all their songs.
Yeah.
So
Now,
putting them into notation, so I can listen to the music and actually put it into notation.
do you think of music while you're sleeping? Does the music go through your mind?
Um, Sometimes it depends. Sometimes and yeah, sometimes I'll think, oh, okay, I want to work on this song during sleep or something. And it's interesting if I'm on I have discovered if I'm in a groove, part of me doesn't want to stop. But it's interesting because if I do walk away, I mean, it depends what it is, the deadline, all that. But then sometimes I come back, oh, here's a brand new idea. But it depends.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Your fingers work independently when you're thinking of music? You play it on the
yeah.
piano like you're doing now?
I guess in a way, I mean, I don't have perfect pitch, but I have
Right.
good, very good relative pitch. So I'll think of something and pretty much play it on the piano. Also, what's interesting nowadays, most people work in what they call a DAW, DAW. Those are digital audio workstations. Those are programs like Logic, Performer, Digital Performer, Cubase, things like that. I still work in a notation program. I think instead of just wanting to play it and transcribe it later, when I'm composing, which is not as common anymore, the guys that wrote it by hand, of course they would, years ago, I put it immediately into notation. Everything I compose, I see it, I hear it, and then uh, I'm just very well. The first thing, in fact, some players learn to play by ear, and then they may or may not learn to play by music. The first thing I, took lessons as a kid. I learned how to read music, but then I had to let go and learn how to trust my ears and learn about, hear what I was
Uh,
doing. So I went so
as I
young.
say, I always get, I always envy people like you that
Yeah,
can hear things, put it down, do the music, because
yeah,
I love music.
yeah. Oh, and I think you said you wrote a song. Do I read? Did you tell me?
Mm,
No.
no, I'm writing. I didn't write a song. I'm writing a screenplay now, but not a song.
Oh, okay. Somebody just the other day said, remember I told you I
It
wrote
was
a
another
song?
Malcolm.
Sorry. I'm confusing. It's funny that I'm so good at remembering anything, numbers and music, that sticks with me. Names I forget, but I'll just
Are
mention,
you good with languages?
well, the music I consider that's my, I don't want
Yeah.
to say
Okay.
foreign language, but it's interesting because there are two people that my mom and also drummer Louis Belson never forgot a name. My mom had the incredible name memory. I
Really?
always remember after I met Louis Belson, I met him many times, heard him play. He used to walk in the park across the street, Louis Belson, and his brother Harry was also Henry. Henry was also a drummer. Um, one time I went to there was a screening and it was on the Fox lot. And my dad didn't go that. My mom went and I had reconnected with somebody from high school, like 30 years prior. And I said, oh, do you remember Lita Braxton? Oh, yeah, you were dating Steve. Without missing in a nano section, she remembered everything about her. Her memory was incredible. Neighbors around here when they first moved in, there was a guy, Andy Halmy. I mean, anything. who was in this film? Or just a walking
Yeah.
encyclopedia.
Yeah,
My
but
dad was good with numbers too.
I find people who are good at music and hear the tunes are also good in foreign languages. Like I'm bad in foreign languages. I can't pick it up.
Oh, interesting.
I can read it. Like I studied French.
Yeah.
I could read French and know what they're talking about,
Oh, yeah.
but I was very bad in pronunciation
Ah,
and hearing them. So orally, if someone told me something in French, I'd have to slow them down or have them write it
ah.
out.
hmm Yeah. I mean, I took a little bit of German in high school because I remember at first I thought I was going to go into medicine science.
Mm.
Well, it did and still
Mm.
fascinates me. And but then music won out. I find it interesting, Joel and I, we met at a chamber music party, but this is not,
But by the way, Joel came in the set and he's sitting behind you. If
oh, he
anybody
is.
wants to know who the gentleman is,
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's Joel. Sorry.
hi
Um,
Joel.
uh, um,
And
uh,
and your cat keeps on wandering back and forth. Your
yeah,
black cat.
sorry. Yeah, but she
Yeah,
has a
I see her by the mailbox a lot. Now I know whose
no,
cat.
no,
Now
that's
that's
not
another black
her.
cat. Oh,
No,
okay,
that's Rosie. That belongs to Chris and
okay. Because I know there's
yeah.
another black cat that I see all the time. That sort of.
Yeah, no, that's Rosie. That's another cat. And that was funny because someone came over the other day and she started to try to grab Rose. She said, I tried to grab your cats out there and almost got, I said, that's not our cat.
Yeah.
It was funny. And then when she came in, she said, oh yeah, your cat's much bigger. And they don't know. But also Harley, it's funny. Harley has a big white heart right at her belly button.
Oh, so you can't
But
miss him.
yeah, but
So,
yeah, different cat.
so now, when did you start getting involved with the unions or in
Well,
the?
I joined the union in 1978, and then in the first time I ran 19 19 oh, I can't believe I'm forgetting a number. No, they can't be. Yeah, 1978. Okay, 1985 be yeah, 1985. That's
Okay.
strange for me to forget. Yeah, 1984 is the first election that I ran in, and now I just started my 24th year on the board. So I served on the used to be called trial board, hearing board. I served on from 1985 until 1992, and then now I've been on the board of directors since 2003.
Which union is that?
Oh, that's American Federation of Musicians, Local 47.
Oh,
I've also, for all these years, been a delegate to the national conventions and all, and very involved in that. I also am very on the board of American Society of Music Arrangers and Composers, Musicians Association, Academy of Scoring Arts, and some friends of mine started. They have piano play, and
right.
they started a nonprofit arm of that. So I'm very active in the composers community as well. I've just always
Yeah,
been.
not that I know that much, but I hear, people who I know that are musicians who write music, especially, popular music. They are complaining a lot about, you
Oh,
know,
AI.
about AI, about, how music is
Oh, yeah.
distributed, through the
Yeah.
computer.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
had
yeah.
a show. One of my shows that I have is with a guy named Phil Margo.
hmm
Phil Margo was one of the creators of the Tokens.
Oh, okay.
And of course, that big song is a Away. A lion sleeps tonight in the jungle, the
Oh,
quiet
oh, yes,
jungle.
I
A
remember
lion
that.
sleeps
Yes,
tonight.
I did. Yeah.
He just passed
Oh,
away
yeah.
about a year and a half ago.
Oh,
But I understand it was really a bitch to collect residuals for the songs, and it completely changed. And I know a lot of the old musicians sold their music away.
yeah.
And those are the people, the publishing rights away, and those are the ones that made the money, but the performers didn't.
Yeah. 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 That's always
Is
uh
this it's still the same, I assume,
overall.
and worse?
Yeah. Yeah. With AI, it's they're trying with the different like the unions and things, they're trying in negotiations to have protection for AI and use and credit for the players and all. It's
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't think
it's crazy.
AI has really raised its ugly head yet.
Yeah, that's possible as well.
We're just at the beginning of the
Oh,
crisis.
yeah, that's true too. The yeah, that's um yeah, it's a strong part of uh different the negotiations for the different contracts of the
Now,
different.
do you have any plans for the future?
Well, I
What
know
you
I
want to
just
do?
Well, at some point, I would like to do a big band again. And sometimes some people have said, and I start to think maybe to write, I don't know, maybe at some point would be, there's some interesting stories that I could share. I have a number of very creative friends, not necessarily in music, who have come up with books in recent years and have fascinating stories to tell. And oh, actually, do you remember Marvin Kaplan, the actor, the
Marvin
character
Kaplan,
actor?
yeah.
Yeah,
I used to like him.
he became a dear friend of mine, and I remember I mentioned in his memoir. We met 1998. We both formed a
I
musical
know
theater writing.
I had seen him in the States over here
Yes,
visiting
he would
you.
come. He used to
Right.
come. He passed away in 2016. And when we would work, we'd work here. The last couple times I went to his home, he lived right near Burbank Airport. Yes, he would be here. And he knew, I think, yeah, he knows June, well, you know, June and all. Yeah. Yeah, so I met him in 1998, and then we worked together on in his later years. He did two films that he wrote and directed, and the second one he had quite a cameo appearance. People said in the first film you should have done that. So he has two films. I scored both of those, and
Oh.
then we were working on some musical theater things together.
I used to like his character. He was sort of like a
Oh,
Wally Cox type of character
yeah. So I remember when I was young, well, maybe a teenager
with his
then.
big horn rimmed glasses.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, he told me the story about that in the early days of cataract surgery, and you had to lie still for hours, days or something, and they didn't give enough anesthesia, and they injured one of his eyes. So but, oh my gosh. But yeah, it took him many years to have the courage to do the second.
Well, the old cataract surgery, when they gave you
Oh yeah,
lenses,
no,
they were like magnifying glasses.
it was so different. Yeah.
Because I know my mother had cataract up and up.
Yeah, he did. That was way before I met him, but
Yeah.
he was so terrified.
Anyway, how could people reach you if they want to reach you?
Oh, on my website or
And
Bonnie
what is your
Janofsky.
website if you want to give it out?
Sure, BonnieJanofsky.com. And sometimes for films, I use Bonnie Ruth Janofsky, but
Bonnie,
both get to the same place. And then, of course, I'm on IMDb and different sites and the different organizations, and or yeah, you can reach me through there, or I don't know whether giving
okay,
email.
or you can reach them through malcolmpresents at
Oh,
gmail.com
yeah,
and I will give you the
absolutely.
information.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a great website. I was looking at that and familiarized.
And tell your friends, as of tomorrow, to take a look at your show.
Yeah.
You'll be
Oh,
on.
absolutely.
They have to go to malcolmpresents.com
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and then they look under the show up close and personal,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I saw
and
you
they can
have
see you, and they could see you for the next 50 years.
yes.
Because I
Yeah.
think I
I,
paid up front.
oh my gosh. Immortalized on
You're
film.
immortalized. Well,
Mhm.
I have things. Well, I think I've been doing some form of podcasting for about 7, 8 years,
Wow. Mhm.
and I have it all on my website. But
Mhm.
and I'll get on Facebook they'll come memories, and I'll see
Oh, yeah.
myself 7, 8 years ago and go, oh my God,
Yeah. It's like, oh, gee.
yeah,
That was pre-COVID. I mean,
I
that was
was young
like,
then. I had more hair
yeah.
and it was darker,
Yeah. Yeah.
and now I
Wow.
look. Eh.
Handsome. You're still handsome. You're handsome.
Anyway, I thank you very much.
Thank you.
And of course, I will see you. I'll see you around
Oh, yeah. You're
the
just a few
estate.
doors away.
But we'll get together in another few months and let me to catch up on what you're doing, and I'll see if I could follow up on we can get your big band back together. May not be
Yeah.
as big, we need 5, 6, 7 people, or whatever.
Yeah. I did do
But
a concert last year. I was one of the featured performers on the Local 47. They had their last year was the third, and April is Jazz Month. And I'm sure they'll do another, but now they have a jazz festival in April, and I had a fantastic sextet
oh,
for that. So
I
yeah.
used to I got involved with Horace doing wasn't it July 4th, I think Memorial Day, and
Oh,
we played
in
in
the
the park
park or
over here.
something?
Right.
Yeah, yeah, because I think they call it. There might have been another name for the park, something Veterans Park or
Well,
something.
that is Sherman Oaks
Because that's Van Nuys Sherman Oaks Park,
Memorial.
right? Yeah.
It's a
Oh,
war memorial park.
yeah. Because most people know it just as Van Nuys Sherman Oaks Park, but yes,
Yeah,
I've heard that name as well.
Van
That's
Nuys
true.
Sherman Oaks Memorial Park.
Yep, right across from us. Yep.
And that was funny. And he had his big band play, and we got a great crowd.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. There are
But
a couple
anyway,
of yeah.
I was part of the advisory board
Oh,
for the park.
oh,
But
yeah.
that's a great. Maybe we should do something else again. We'll
Oh, yeah.
see. Maybe we
Yep.
can do like a July 4th at the park. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Sounds good.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Bonnie, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
again, you're listening to Up Close and Personal on MalcolmPresents.com. If you have any questions, you can call me. You can call me at, but you can get me at malcolmpresents@gmail.com. Thank you, and happy Martin Luther King Day.
Yes. Happy Martin Luther King Day.
Bye.